So this is a Peugeot E-208 GT Premium in Faro Yellow. I've had this car now for about 2 weeks, covered around 400 miles. This is my first EV car, so let's take a look at my first impressions. So when you first sit in the car, it does feel fairly snug, but also I think reasonably spacious for a small hatchback. You're presented with a large touchscreen display above the piano keys for the various controls on the car, and also the 3D cockpit display, which sits right in front of the driver above the steering wheel, giving you all the essential information you need for the journey. So on this model, the GT Premium, we get the larger 10-inch display rather than the 7-inch display on some of the other models. It's a really nice screen, I think. Good size, nice and clear, really nicely positioned for your eye line as you're driving, and quite easy to use. It is quite a magnet for fingerprints, and I'd say that about a lot of the car, where you've got this polished plastic surface, and I do find that I'm constantly giving it a quick wipe all the time just to keep it as immaculate as I can do. The display itself is managed from these controls underneath, where it gives you various aspects of control over the car, from music settings, air conditioning, navigation, general car settings, telephone, apps and charging information. We also have these piano keys, which I wasn't too sure on at first as to whether I do like them or not, but they are kind of growing on me. They're quite unique style and design for the car. We have the volume control first on the left, followed by air circulation, air conditioning off, air conditioning on max, your hazard light straight in the middle of this console, the lock unlock button to lock the car, and then your windscreen heater controls for the front and the back. Also just to the side at either side, this model comes with heated seats, and you have the controls for these, and you have selection of 1, 2 or 3 on the settings. Further down on the console on the left hand side we have a USB-C charger port, and this is purely a charger port and doesn't link into the connectivity system. And on the right hand side we have a standard USB socket, used for charging but also for linking your car to your phone, whether it be Android or iOS. This panel here features a touch to open, which gives you a nice storage space for your phone. On this particular model this doesn't have phone wireless charging, which I believe is on some models. Further down we have a 12-volt cigarette lighter socket, and then we come to the centre console. The centre console has your main control for your driving modes, including park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then further back we have the handbrake and the drive mode controls, alongside your standard cup holder slots and a nice little storage unit just behind. Focusing directly on the driving controls, we have the engine start stop button, and with your foot on a brake, a simple touch will start or stop the car. So the 3D cockpit sits above the steering wheel, and the steering wheel itself is quite small but doesn't get in the way of the display. And on this display we have various bits of information which give you useful information for your journey, including your vehicle range, battery level, current, battery consumption, general speed, and other bits of information which can be changed through the controls on your steering wheel. On the steering wheel on the left hand side we have the standard lighting controls, and beneath that we have the cruise control. On the right hand side we have the screen wash settings, and a little touch button at the end which changes the mini display on the 3D cockpit display to show your current trip information. Over to the right hand side we have controls to turn off the interior alarm, your lane assist and lane control. So let's have a further look around the car. You have your rear windscreen mirror, which automatically adjusts for the brightness to make sure you don't get dazzled by cars behind you. Above that, little information display showing your various seat belts to turn or off and your airbag status. And then above that we have Peugeot assist button and SOS button, and your internal lights, which are a little touch sensor just to turn them on or off. On my particular model I've also got the panoramic roof, which has a nice slider to close or open to let a little bit of light in. Looking around inside the car, on the passenger side we have the glove box with a small amount of space just to store the odd bits and pieces that you might need to, and as well as the latch to open the bonnet. So that was a very quick first overview of the vehicle. As I come to do more driving of the vehicle, I hope to share more of the experience with you. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to cover or take a look at, just let me know in the comments below the video. Don't forget to see more about this vehicle or some of my other interests in technology. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.